And we are live, and welcome to the Standout CEO Show, which is your gateway to building a standout business in a crowded market with your personal brand. And today we have a special episode. And in fact, I don't do this very often, but what's going on is so cool and it's so relevant and it's so valuable for you that I just couldn't resist. Because here's the thing, like if you've been listening to this show for any length of time, you know that I believe that one of the very best ways to stand out is to become an awesome video creator. But here's the thing. Most people get really hung up on trying to do video and get hung up on all the tools and all the tech, and it all seems super overwhelming. So, like, what's the solution? How do you get over this hump? And this is something I talk about quite a lot. I mean, using video these days is the very best way for you to become that familiar face and that trusted authority for your audience. So my guest, his name is Griffin Stewart. He's a professional photographer, and he has put together this amazing event that's coming up on June 9th. We're going to make an official announcement later in the episode, so stay tuned for that. And imagine for a moment, if you had access to this world-class bunch of videography experts who would come together, and that you would be joined by a whole bunch of people just like you, entrepreneurs who are wanting to do content marketing using video. And so you get to network a whole bunch of people, you get to learn from the very best people in the world, and at the same time, and this is the secret sauce of Griffin's event, we're all going to be donating to charity. Think of that. This is a cool new business model that Griffin has created. We're going to unpack that in today's episode, so stay tuned and let's start the show. All right, Griffin, welcome to the show. Thanks so much for coming on today.
Hey, yeah, thanks for having me, Brad.
All right, by way of getting started, why don't you just briefly tell us who you are and what do you do?
Sure. My name's Griffin Stewart, and my wife and I co-founded a company called 5daydeal.com. And what we do is put together educational bundles for videographers or video creators and photographers, and sell them for a limited time, 5 days only per year, at an amazing discount. And we also donate 10% of gross revenue to charity. And since 2014, we've just had an amazing response, and it's just been really humbling to be part of it and kind of be along for the ride. And so far, we've been able to donate more than $2.6 million to charity, and help over 100,000 different customers across the world improve their photography and videography.
Yeah, I mean, that's super impressive. $2.6 million is really substantial amount. And so when you were, I know that you worked initially as a professional photographer, and I assume you're still doing that. And what was going on for you where you saw, oh, there's this new opportunity, there's this new way of doing things? What was the change that you wanted to make, and/or what were you seeing that was here's a big problem that I want to fix?
Yeah, great question. So I did graphic and web design, and I managed an ebook store for a very popular photographer named Trey Ratcliffe. And through that, I met a bunch of other photographers. I've actually haven't done photography professionally, but I love it. I'm an avid amateur photographer, and I enjoy traveling and taking photos of beautiful places. And through that ebook store, I made a bunch of connections. And in my travels, I had seen a travel bloggers bundle and I'd seen a small business bundle. And I hadn't seen a bundle in photography. And being a photographer myself and trying to get training and learn, I knew that photography training can be expensive and it can also be kind of hit or miss. You might pay $100 for a product that's maybe worth 20, and you might pay $200 for a product that's worth 500, like as far as the learning level and the instruction you get. And so I decided to try out this idea. I took about 3 months off and just poured into creating this bundle. We had another couple as partners at the time, and we created it together and launched it. And from the start, we wanted it to be more than just about education and just about making money for us and our partners. And so we decided to donate 10% of gross revenue to different charities to make an impact. And in our mind, we kind of were like, oh, well, maybe in 1 year or more like 5 years or 10 years, we'll be able to donate over 100,000 or over 200,000 or something exciting like that. And in our first year, including donations made by partners, I believe we donated well over 200,000 and possibly over 300,000 to charity. So the problem I was trying to solve was getting better education to everyone at a lower price while also having an impact on the world.
Yeah, I think that curation of the content is really important and key. Like as we're trying to navigate through like the online course and online education world, it's really hard to tell, what's actually good and what's going to be really helpful for me. And anybody who's dabbled in online courses for any length of time, they've all bought courses that either ended up sitting on the shelf or were just not what they had hoped for. They didn't really get the result they were looking for. So in your work doing this, I mean, you had to go out and, I assume, meet and find some of the very better online course creators out there. So talk a little bit about that in terms of how you grew the network of people who are now part of this event.
Sure. Yeah, so it was interesting. Our first bundle we did January 2014, we launched with as many people as were basically willing to give it a shot. So we came to them, we said, hey, here's this new idea. We've never done it before. Nobody's done it in photography before. Here's how it's going to work. Would you guys be willing to kind of take a chance and partner on this new venture that, we don't have any data. So it may work, it may not work. And we got a really great group of people to be part of that. And that sale, raised about $50,000 for charity. And so once that was successful, we went and kind of scoured and put together a list of like, okay, if we could partner with anybody in the world in the photography education industry, who would it be? And we went after those people. And we've just been blessed to work with just really awesome people, creative entrepreneurs, successful creative entrepreneurs, which I always feel like it's a hard thing to find sometimes, because with our creative minds, we just want to go make pretty stuff and we don't want to look at spreadsheets or data and figure out how to sell it or optimize selling. And so it's been really fun just working with the people that we work with, where they create amazing photography or video, products and final things for clients and for themselves. But they also are successful at the business side of things. And so our second sale that we launched, that sale was able to donate over $220,000 to charity. So just really quickly was almost 5 times bigger than our first sale. And then we've kind of gone on from that. And after 2 years of photo, that's when we got into video as well. A lot of our photography customers were saying, hey, I'm pretty good at photography, but my clients that I'm shooting a wedding or an event and they want video as well. So can you guys help us figure out how to do that? So that's been a really cool kind of transition to serve both markets with a little bit of overlap between those.
Yeah, I love the collaborative part of all of this. I mean, it reminds me quite a long time ago, a friend of mine by the name of Joe Vanas, who is a photographer, or rather, at the time he was like yourself, he was an amateur photographer. He was not a professional. And he started
Okay.
a business which was a travel photography excursion kind of thing. He called
Oh,
it
cool.
Joe Vanas Photo Safaris. And what he did
Okay.
was that he would partner up with some really well-known wildlife photographer, or maybe two or three of them, and they would be the stars and the audience attracting, people, and they would have a group of people join, and then they would go to, say, the Arctic Circle and go shoot some polar bears, and they, get
Yeah.
all dressed up, and they'd be in the tundra buggy, and they would rumble on out across the tundra, and then they would go to where they knew the polar bears were going to be, and then the guy would be sitting there going, well, use this, lens, and open your f-stop to this setting, and basically all these
Yeah.
guys were sitting there shooting, and then they would end up with this huge, wonderful, amazing close-up shot of a polar bear, and that they would,
Yeah.
these are like CEOs and executives, and they put it up in their office, and people would come in and go, wow, that's the most amazing photograph of a polar bear I've ever seen. And they go, well, I took that picture.
There you go. Yeah.
But it was a really cool thing in terms of turning anyone who was interested in photography into actually a highly skilled wildlife photographer, but also this really great collaboration with some of the very best and skilled photographers in terms of the wildlife world, from
Mhm.
anywhere. And he, as a result, he became, like them. He became very well known and quite successful with this whole endeavor. And they were doing trips, all over the place, all over everywhere in a very short order. So this really reminds me of that, and sort of some of the benefits that come from gathering together highly skilled people and having them share in this way. It not only, I mean, you're benefiting in terms of like they're helping you get this thing off the ground. All of the
Mhm.
people joining, all the people participating are benefiting because they're getting all this great, education that much easier access. They know it's curated. It's, like you've put together the great museum, which is wonderful stuff. And, and, the whole thing is benefiting these different nonprofits and NGOs around the globe. So from all of this, like tell me some story about collaborations that you have experienced coming away from having done this since 2014.
Sure. Yeah, like I said, it's been just amazing and quite a blessing to work with the people we work with. And we've been able to partner with some of the top photo and video educators in the world, and just work with them. And the fun part is, like, you know, for the most part, all of the people that we work with, they are, not only just really good at what they do and really good at business, but they're just cool people to collaborate with. And so it's been fun for our both our photo and video bundle, which this will be our seventh annual um, video bundle, I believe, and then this year we'll also have, I believe, our 10th or 11th annual photo bundle. And it's been really fun because it's like a group of friends. So every year, in June, we get together with all our video creators, and whether we have like kind of a partner Facebook group that we have. And it's just fun to kind of reconnect and see what everybody's been up to and what they've done over that previous year. And then same for photo, and same for our customers as well. Like a lot of our customers will let us know, like, hey, I've been looking forward to this for 12 months as I've been learning and improving from the previous bundle, and just can't wait for this to happen. So it's been really fun. As far as like a highlight collaboration, what's been really cool to see behind the scenes is some of our partners use our sales and leverage them for an even greater charity impact. So we've got a website. If you go to impact.5daydeal.com, and that's the number 5, then you can see kind of audit of all of our charity donations, which charities they've gone to, how much, and per sale. And our partners have donated, I don't know the number offhand, but it's over 200,000, it might be over $300,000 to charity from our sales. So some of our partners will take their entire commission payment that we pay them to be part of the bundle and help promote it, and they will donate that to a charity that they support and believe in. So that's been probably one of the bigger highlights as far as partnership goes, is just seeing that generosity on the partner side as well.
Yeah, this is really refreshing. I mean, in the online marketing space, there's a lot of stuff out there that seems kind of sketchy and not necessarily super generous. And this is like the opposite. I mean, it's just such a generous thing, and it just has this really good, I mean, the collaboration feels really good. The fact that it's really supporting good causes is just amazing. And that the people involved, like the people on the inside, are just being generous with their time. That just feels really great. So let's talk about the event itself. Like it's coming June 9th. Walk us through like what should people be looking out for and so forth.
Sure. Yeah. So 5 days before the sale starts, we've got a $10,000 giveaway we're going to launch. We've got sponsors of Boris FX, Film Pack, Triune Digital, and a couple others that we're really excited about. And so that kind of is like our pre-sale time that we use to hopefully spread the word and let everybody know that the sale's coming up. And then once the sale launches, it'll launch at noon Pacific time on June 9th. And then it'll be gone forever 5 days later at noon Pacific time on, what is that, the 14th, I believe. And yeah, it's a fun event. It's very high intensity and high impact. And we don't get a lot of sleep. Some of our partners don't get a lot of sleep during it. But it's just a really energetic time. And it's also cool to just see the charity impact on the site. During the sale, we'll have a live timer so you can see how much money is going to charity. And then during checkout, our customers can also select if they want it to go. This year, our focus is meals and education, and then everything else. And so they can select if they want it to be split between all three of those categories or only go to one or two. And we kind of update on the front end, like how many meals have been donated and everything like that. And then, yeah, like when the sale goes live on the 9th, you'll be able to see all the products that are in it. And there's 3 different levels of the bundle that we have. And you can pick between, just the main bundle, which is kind of our base option, or the complete charity bundle, which is the full blown, everything we have available option. So.
Right. And so let's just describe a little bit of the length and breadth of what we're talking about when we say bundle. Like, there's just a lot of really helpful education, a lot of, like, if you want to go learn how to be a very skilled videographer, there are a lot of different types of courses that will help that out. But there's also a lot of resources in there, I've noticed. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Yeah. So it's a bundle of digital products. So we've got a lot of tutorials, video tutorials on how to get started with the different editors that are available. We've got a lot of LUTs so that you can overlay colors and kind of match your film's look throughout. There's special effects, there's sound effects, background noises, all kinds of really cool goodies. We've also got some software this year that we're really excited about. So that'll be revealed when the sale goes live. But yeah, what we try to do, I always feel a little bit like Santa Claus putting the bundle together, but we try to kind of have something for everybody and make the price so that it's just kind of a no-brainer, even for the full bundle of digital products. And once you purchase most of the products, by far, you get immediate access to. You get a login and you go in there and you've got the courses and you can watch them and it keeps track of your progress. And we try to make that very easy. Same for downloads. Most of the courses are fully downloadable. So you can click download and then click complete and move on to the next one. And then there are a few, like the software product and some others, where you'll have to go register on a third-party site. But we pre-vet those and make sure that they're super easy to do, and that that it's a great product that you hopefully will be excited to own or purchase. So
That's cool. That's great. So, all right. And then there's also this prior to the 9th giveaway that's happening.
Yeah.
So how do people find out about that?
Yeah. So starting, I believe, noon on, 5 days before. So on the 4th, we will launch a $10,000 giveaway. Anybody can enter that. It's free to enter. You just put in your name and email address on the homepage, and then you'll be entered, and you have more chances to get more entries by sharing about it on social media. And we'll have some cool promo videos for you to share with your friends and followers to let them know about the sale. And then that actually extends. It's a full 10-day giveaway. So it goes for 5 days pre-sale all the way through the end of the sale. But after the sale starts, we kind of focus more on the sale than the giveaway. But it's an exciting giveaway. There's really some awesome products in there we're excited to be able to have. So that'll be revealed on the 4th.
Great. Awesome. All right. So hang on a second. So I made a special URL, and I'm just looking for it here. Where did it go? Oh, here we go. Dark. So if anyone wants to go to bradpowellvideo.com, this will be forwarded to the video bundle, the 5-day deal bundle. So I set this up so that awesome. Brad Powell Video is easy to remember. It's my name. And this will go right to where you can, like right now, it's, as we're recording this, it's not the 9th of June, so it's not open yet, but you can put your email in, you can get notified. And of course, anytime after the 9th, between the 9th and the 14th, this will be wide open. So use this link and you can go there and check this out. So as we close, if there's just one thing that we haven't gotten to, or one point of emphasis that you would like to stress to anybody who's following this, any of these entrepreneurs, content creators who are looking at video, they're wanting to get better at it, what would you like to say to them?
I guess, there's no easy way to get great at video, but the easiest way that I've found and I've seen is by learning from people that have been where you want to be. So we've got, full-time filmmaker. I don't even know how many YouTube subscribers they have, but full-time filmmakers in this. Shane Hurlbut, he's a Hollywood director of photography. He did Terminator Salvation. We've got just an unbelievable kind of, I don't know, you could call them maybe a cast of partners for this sale. And the products are an unbelievable value. When you purchase them, it's usually like, if you like one or two products, the entire bundle is going to be worth the purchase price. So you'll get, 20 plus extra products that are included for just the price of one or two products. So that's really exciting. And while you're doing it, it also has an impact on charity. And one of the cool things to see from our end is, like, every year we get customers that let us know. They say, hey, I was a big fan of this guy, and I'd never heard of this guy until I bought your bundle and I went through his course. And now, I love his teaching as well as the original person I followed. And so now they've got two people that they're kind of learning from and developing from. And so that's what we try to do with our bundles, is kind of condense a year's worth of content available for 5 days only at over 95% discount, while benefiting charity. So we call it a win-win-win. Everybody wins with our sales.
That's great. Well, I'm going to do a plug for both Full-Time Filmmaker, which is Parker Walbeck. He's the guy who runs that. I've been a fan of his channel on YouTube for some time now. It's certainly one of the better videography-focused channels on YouTube, and his products, like his courses, are one of the very best courses that I've seen anybody put together on doing video. And Shane Hurlbut, if you've never heard of him, he's definitely a videographer's videographer. Like he's just one of the very best, most talented guys. Standards are extremely, extremely high. So learning, like this is like a masterclass opportunity to be learning from somebody like him. So this has been great. I just want to thank you again so much for coming on today, Griffin.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks so much for having me, Brad. I appreciate it.
Right. And for you who are still here listening at the very end, I just want to remind you that you've been listening to the Standout CEO Show. And if you want to go and binge on every single episode, all of the video, all of the audio, just go to standoutceoshow.com and you can binge to your heart's content. And the best way to join us is to join us live every Tuesday, every Thursday, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And until the next time, so long.